Good morning, Floss Tube. This is Karen, Prom Queen Stitcher. I'm coming to you from Bakersfield, California, and I wanted to do a kind of a short Merry Christmas to you video today. I have a few oldies but goodies to show you, and I made a big decision a couple months ago. I decided all my stitch pillows that I've made through the years, I'm going to go ahead and share with some of my younger friends who still do a lot of decorating for Christmas. I'll keep a couple, but for the most part I'm going to pass them on, and that way it'll be one less thing when the time comes, and hopefully in many years, that my son won't have as much to have to distribute and see to. And maybe my Hallmark daughters, whom I call my young friends, maybe they'll be able to appreciate them and decorate with them through the years. Most of them have young children, and so they do a lot of decorating. And maybe the pillow or the couple pieces that they decide to take, they'll look at them and think of me, which is a nice legacy, I'll tell you. Before we get to that, I wanted to let you know that I've already had my early Christmas present. My son, Evan, came from Toronto, Canada, and visited last week. He was here for 5 days, and it was just wonderful to see him. You know, he's just one of those kids who's really nice, and he's good to help his mama too, and I really appreciate it, because I had a list of honeydews for him to do while he was here. But he's not one to sit. He likes to be active, so it's good. So we got the pantry cleaned out and reorganized, and he brought out all my pillows from all the containers that they were in, so they'll be able to be out there for my girls to come look at and choose from. And he also he worked on our photo gallery that we have. I have in my entryway, putting up more pictures to that. He drew it freehand last time he was here, and it's a big tree, and it has all these different family photos and photos of friends and so on. It's a real eye getter when you walk through the door. So anyway, let me show you a picture of him and me. This is in my backyard. Whoops, I'm getting some glare here. This is in my backyard here in Bakersfield with the palm trees in the background. We had a couple of really nice days while he was here with sunshine, and I think he was appreciative of not having temperatures down below freezing, which he has in Toronto at this point. And so anyway, it was a really nice visit, and I was so grateful to be able to see him, and then just like that, it was time for him to go home. So anyway, hopefully it won't be too much longer till he gets to come back. You know, he's quite the guy. Let me show you my first piece. I just went out and I grabbed about 5 different pillows that I think are somewhat representative of some of the ones I've done in the past. I'll tell you what, I probably have close to 50 pillows out there, and I was a very prolific stitcher back in the day, but as I've expressed to you before, arthritis has kind of taken its toll on my fingers, and I can still stitch, but it feels like I have one of those big finger things on, like you see at the football games, and so it feels kind of funny. So there are times when I sit down and stitch for maybe 20 minutes, and then I put it aside. But some stitching's better than none. But I do miss it, because I used to sit down almost every night and at least take a few stitches. But the very first one I'm going to show you is this little snowman guy. I don't know what book it is from. I know it's an old one. I think I probably did this back in the early 90s, and one of the things I enjoyed about stitching this particular one is I enjoyed doing the border, and it was a repeating one, so once I got it established, it was no problem to get it done. And it's done on 7-count Clawstern, and I used pearl cotton number 3 on it. And I'll tell you what, this is instant gratification, ladies. If you want to make something that's kind of primitive looking and doesn't take a long time to do, pick a simple pattern that doesn't have a lot of color changes and do that 7-count fabric with that pearl cotton, and I will tell you, you will fly through it, and it's a great gift. So anyway, this is my guy. He's a cutie. I have always liked snowmen, and so he's a real good one. And here's the fabric on the back. I took it to my LNS that was still in business at the time, and they got it finished for me. So anyway, that may be one that I may keep. I may not be able to get rid of it. And then another one I'm probably going to keep too, because I can use this guy for winter decorating as well. This is one of the heartstring Santas from Pat Theode. Theode, I think is her name. And she had a whole series of these. I believe they might have been monthly. And I always really liked this one because it was, different with the blues. And he's also got ice skates on, which is kind of cool. And I hope Pam from Just Keep Stitching is watching, because she will see that I like skating things too. And it's one of those, it's done in one of those little pillows. Oh, who is it who does them? Oh, Pine Mountain. And you just kind of stick it in when you're done. And, that way it's minimal finishing. Although he could be, gussied up a little bit, with some rickrack or pom-poms or something around the edge. And that might be kind of cute. But he's another one that I think is going to stay with me as well, because I just really treasure him. And like I said, I think he'll be able to be up in January and February too, because it's kind of a winter theme. So there's that one. And then this one, I have no idea who the designer was for this one, this Noel pillow. But I always liked it. I like things that are heart-shaped, and so my finisher was able to make it into a heart shape, and doing kind of the pleated around here, which I think is really, really pretty. And this one also is done on the claustron that has that little gold fleck in it. I'm not sure that you can see that. Well, I'm not sure it's going to pick it up, but anyway, that's another one. But this one I think I'm going to part with. But I have always liked it, and it was also done with the pearl cotton too. So once again, instant gratification. At the time I did most of these, I was a young mom, and so it was like that. That's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking to do a lot of things that were super intricate or required a lot of concentration because of the interruptions, that come with being a parent. So there's that one. This one right here coming up is, I believe, a Judy Whitman design. Let me make sure I get it right side up. It's a little box pillow, and I think it's done on Davos, it looks like. But it's over 2. Back when I was stitching, there was very little over 1, unless you were doing one of the Marilyn Imblum Levitt angels, and then it was just the face and the hands. So most of us were doing over 2, but I thought this one turned out really cute. And Judy Whitman has always been one of my favorite designers. Here's the back, and of course Christmas plaid. That always looks very nice, and it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to go out of style. And this is another one I may have to hang on to. Believe me, I'm not going to hang on to all of them. I vow to you I will not. But a couple of them are just, they're just kind of special, and I want to hang on to them. And I like the way this is finished. It's just kind of unique. So there's this one. And then the last one I have to show you today is one of the Cricut designs. And you know what? It may not be a Cricut design. I take that back. I think it's from Fancy That, which I don't know that they're still in business anymore. But back in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff, there were a lot of nice things that they had done. And this is a B. I actually made it for my daughter Brittany. You know, B is for bear, and then B is for Brittany. And some of our young people are not too interested in stuff, and so it ended up being left at home when she moved out, and I kept it. I didn't want to get rid of him, but I have a friend who has a niece whose name is Brooke, and so I thought maybe I can ask her if she might like to have that for her niece and give it. And the ruffle itself is done in flannel, which I thought was really kind of neat. It makes it look cozy, and he's such a handsome gent, you know, with his little vest sweater and so on. Here's the back. A lot of my pillows, when I had them made, I had them put a zipper in right here so that if I needed to take them out and spruce them up or what have you, I could certainly do that. And so I thought this was so cute the way they finished it on the back. And so anyway, I'm not one for finishing. I would rather, true confessions here, I would rather pay somebody to finish, and I would rather stitch. And it's good because there's room for all of us in this world. And some people do enjoy the stitching part, and I highly applaud them. I'm so glad that there are people out there who do, just not me. So these are the pillows that I have to share with you all today. I am staying up on the floss tube. I enjoy it immensely. I'm not housebound with my arthritis, but I'm not traveling out of town anymore, and so I spend a lot of time in my home, which is good because I can control how warm it is, because that's one thing about arthritis for me is I need to be warm. And so I have a little gas insert fireplace in my living room that I definitely utilize and enjoy, and that way I can stay nice and warm and cozy and don't have to worry about getting chilled, because that's one of the issues for me is that just can't happen, because if it does, then I'm achy and I hurt, and enough of this. Who wants to hear this business? But it's a reality, and at 66, I have done so much in my life. I'm an Army brat, and I've lived a lot of different places. I've lived both in Germany and in the U.S. and in Alaska before it was it was a territory before it was a state, as well as multiple other places. So I've done a lot of traveling. I've seen a lot. I've met some wonderful people in my lifetime, and some of them I'm still in touch with, which is a godsend and very much appreciated. My best friend, whom I met in Germany, we were in the same Sunday school class and then ended up in the same school class together. She and I are still in touch, and as well as a couple of other people from that group of friends. And those ties mean a lot to me. There are places that I've lived that either the house doesn't exist anymore, or for some reason I can't go back. Like the one in Germany, I'm not allowed to go on post because I'm not associated with the military anymore, and because of Homeland Security, they keep things really tight, which I totally get. But I'll never be able to see that house again. But I have photos, and I have lots of good memories of things that transpired. I wish back then that I had stitched, because in Germany, I bet you I could have gotten some really cool things. But I was a kid. I was 9 and 10 years old. So that was the furthest thing from my mind. I didn't start stitching until, I started doing needlepoint when I was 19. And that was kind of the opening of the door. And then from there, it just kind of evolved. I went to crewel then in embroidery. And then from there, I started cross stitch, and I've never looked back. I totally have enjoyed, what cross stitch has done in my life. For example, this floss tube thing is unbelievable. We have an amazing community, and to be able to be in touch with other people who stitch and then be enabled by them and to enable them, what more could you ask for? So anyway, I'm going to keep this short, ladies, because otherwise I have trouble uploading. So let me wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy being with your families, and have some nice meals together and make some memories, because that's what it's all about. And I hope to come back in the new year before too much longer, and maybe get some stitching done. That would be nice. So anyway, God bless you all, and to all a Merry Christmas. Keep those needles moving. Bye-bye, everybody.